One Piece is one of my favorite anime, and I'm not alone in this. There are millions and millions of people who love One Piece, and if you're watching this video, you might be a One Piece fan as well. But why? On stream, I watched a video by a creator called Shut Up Denny, and he makes the point that the reason that people love One Piece so much is because of time. The main aspect of why people love One Piece is the time it takes to tell the story, and the whole video is about time. It's a great video.
What if I told you One Piece was a story about time? I'm here to tell you that One Piece's greatest storytelling strength is time. Now, what do I mean by time? One of the core reasons that One Piece not only still works, but continues to thrive so long into the story is because of the important role patience plays in the relationship between the story and the audience.
And after watching it, that's kind of what inspired this video. I couldn't disagree more. Now, this isn't a hate video on Shut Up Denny's video, but as a One Piece fan, I absolutely hate how long it takes to get through some arcs, man. And don't go calling me TikTok brain and I can't focus. I'm fully caught up on One Piece, and I don't skip anything apart from filler. But if you've watched it, let's not lie, it can get pretty exhausting. It can get pretty long to watch. It's like, just kind of, rather than enjoying it, you're kind of just waiting for some arcs to be over. And I also do feel like some arcs in One Piece share quite a repetitive nature. And I know this is gonna sound like a hate video One Piece, but I swear, don't leave. I love One Piece. I'm just getting my critiques out the way before I can talk about why I feel it's so special and why I feel a lot of people feel like it's so special. I'm just making the point, I feel like, in my personal opinion, which I'm allowed to have, Shut Up Denny's video kind of just misses the mark. But yeah, anyways, like I'm saying, I feel like some One Piece arcs have a repetitive nature, in the sense that there are a few arcs that go this way, right? Luffy and the crew roll up to an island, okay? And there's a leader on that island. The leader on the island has been overthrown by the bad guy. Luffy meets and talks to the people of the island and decides that he wants to save the island. Luffy beats up the bad guy, and the rightful leader is replaced. That's, you know what I'm saying? That's how a few of the arcs go. But this, I'm not saying this is every arc, or I'm not even saying this is the majority of the arcs, but it is a recurring theme. Some of my favorite arcs are ones that don't follow that, I guess, formula, like Iani's Lobby, Water 7, goated, Marineford, goated. I really loved Whole Cake Island. And even though Wano follows this arc, I loved Wano too. But yeah, that's, you know, and I feel like a lot of that is just because it's so long, bro. I feel like sometimes I don't know. But Shut Up Denny actually makes another point why people like One Piece so much, and again, going with the narrative of time. Excuse me. Shut Up Denny makes the point that One Piece creates mysteries and then answers them, and it isn't a long, drawn out type of thing, right? It's more of a, you know, they present a mystery, they present a question, then they answer it. And as One Piece fans, we have faith that these questions will be answered. And when he made this point, I actually couldn't disagree more. Again, I disagree. And I'm not trying to sound like a hater to Shut Up Denny. I just can't agree, bro. I just can't agree. Like,
that the greatest narrative strength this story has is the reader-viewer investment it is able to build through small mysteries, and the promise that these mysteries will be paid off much later. The story of One Piece is able to capitalize on its long-running narrative by building a degree of patience within the audience. Isn't something that develops later on in the series. This request for patience is instead a key feature from the very beginning. The promise that there will be more answers, the audience is able to wait patiently as the story continues to unfold. Another example of this promise, one where it has already been fully honored, is the entire Enies Lobby arc.
I can think of tons and tons of One Piece mysteries that we don't have answers to, that we kind of waited on. And I'm not even going to talk about the main one, which is what is the One Piece. That's not even what I'm going to talk about. But things like, how is Blackbeard able to hold multiple fruits? Did Shanks know the true power of the fruit he took from the marine ship? What happened in the Void Century? Who's Luffy's mother? The Will of D, the poneglyphs, Luffy's real dream that he mentions in Wano, the ancient weapons, and I could go on. So when he said that One Piece does the question answer, and we have faith that the question, like, I do believe these all will be answered eventually. Maybe some have, and I'm misremembering. But yeah, that was another point that I disagreed with. But despite all of that, I still genuinely love One Piece. I still love Look, I got my One Piece Wano poster right here, and let me show you what's literally above my desk right here. I'm gonna put it on screen. I do love One Piece, genuinely. And my personal reason for loving One Piece is I feel the characters and the world, man. I think Oda was able to build a really good cast of characters that are just so likable, and you can't help but root for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, seeing Luffy go above and beyond for his friends, and his friends doing the same for him, it's something special that a lot of anime don't have. And I know I was just critiquing the length of One Piece, but I will say that the One Piece world, the scope of it, is also something very special that you don't see in a lot of anime. The absolute scale of the world of One Piece it's amazing, and it really makes you feel like you're going on the adventure with the crew. You know what I'm saying? And again, I will say, you know, I know I kind of discredited Denny's video for this, but with the long build-up, it is an investment. I personally can't wait to see what the One Piece is. It's something that we have invested time into. You know, a lot of time, a bit too much time, but time regardless. And yeah, I think that really does work in favor of One Piece. I know when the One Piece is eventually revealed what it is, it's gonna break the internet. It's going to. I would be surprised if it doesn't make mainstream news, bro. You are gonna see a news segment somewhere talking about One Piece revealed. I guarantee it. It's gonna be huge news, and there isn't many anime that can encapsulate that can recreate or even do something so similar. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times people ask me on stream, like, you know, thinking of starting One Piece, do you recommend? And I would say yes. I am a person who said I watch One Piece in its entirety, but with, you know, One Piece being reanimated really soon and things like One Piece, I would recommend using that, because the story, you'll still get it without the, you know, the awful pacing and things like that. But the world of One Piece is something truly special, and what I believe makes it so special is the relatability and the relationship between characters, the scope of the world. And One Piece speaks on some very important real world topics that, you know, a lot of anime, I'm not gonna say a lot of anime, but it's on face value, One Piece seems like a childish kids anime. Oh, Rubberman pirate looking for treasure. But when you really look into it, One Piece speaks on things like government corruption, slavery, racism, and a whole host of other things that I can't really think of off the top of my head. But a lot. There is a lot. And I think, you know, for people who are really watching, not, you know, they've got One Piece on in the background and they're scrolling Instagram reels, who are really watching, I think the depth of One Piece is something that you can appreciate and you can break down. And yeah, I don't know, it's I'm not gonna say it's rare. There are other anime who, you know, obviously explore themes similar to that. There's just something different about One Piece, bro. There's truly something different about One Piece. It's goated, bro. I don't know what to tell you. This video kind of just ended up being a little rant, just I'm not gonna say in response, but like I said, I reacted to Denny's video on my stream, and I kind of wanted to give my take on it. His video is called "What Makes One Piece So Unique." I disagree with his answer, so I'm just giving my answer. Feel free to listen, feel free to don't, and feel free to you know, let me know what you think in the comments below. Yeah, this channel is a new channel. I think this is probably my third upload on the channel. So yeah, feel free to, like, you know, like and subscribe if you're into anime. I plan on posting a lot more frequently. The video after this is probably going to be a Jujutsu Kaisen video. And yeah, man, it's just gonna be a video where I just yap, rant, talk about things. So yeah, I appreciate you for watching.